Hi guys. As you can remember, we've done interest rates the last lesson. We're going to still carry on with interest rates, but for this lesson, it's something that you will not see very often. So it's just in case you see the word effective, we need to do this lesson. So let's just go into what this lesson is about. Now, as I said previously, all banks charge interest per annum, normal, nominal interest rate. So the minute they say effective interest rate, remember what I showed you in the last lesson? If it is 8% for a year, but now they calculated it monthly. So you have to cut up this year into 12 pieces. Can you remember I said actually the interest rate is going to be more than that 8% because you're cutting it up and every time you're working out interest on interest, interest on interest. So in the end, it's going to be more than the 8% charge. That is effectively the interest rate. But we never ever use this effective interest rate in a formula. All our formulae are set for the nominal interest rate. So if you by accident get a problem where they give you the effective interest rate, you need to go back and change it to the nominal interest rate, which the banks are normally charging, before you can slot it into your formula. Good. So this is what we're going to do in this lesson. Now, here's just a few things that you need to know. We use just a normal I. Let's just get a better color. We use a normal I or I with a little nominal at the bottom if we are working with effective and nominal. If we just do a normal sum, we just use the normal I. And if I talk about effective, I use an I with a little footnote EFF so that I just know which I I'm talking about. Good. Now, the normal nominal rate, very important, is the rate that we use in all formulae. So let's just make an NB here. So the only reason why we're doing this whole lesson, if they by accident, which happens very seldom, use the word effective interest rate, which is here, I need to use this formula that you see down at the bottom to change it to a normal nominal interest rate, and then I can use it into my formula. Good. So let's just do an example. It's always better to do an example. Convert a nominal interest rate of 12%, so there's my I, nominal, per annum, compounded monthly, to an annual effective interest rate. So they're asking me the interest rate effective. Now, you will not ever use that in a formula. It's just for interesting sake that we sometimes want to find out effectively what am I really paying per year if they calculate this interest rate monthly. Good. We need the formula 1 plus I EFF, effective, is 1 plus I to the power of n. But now remember what they said here. This is compounded monthly. So the minute you compound it monthly, the I becomes I divided by 12. Have you got it? So I need to go to I divided by 12, and I'm going to do this. I want the effective interest rate, so I want to leave that there. So it's 1 plus I over 12. Oh, what about the n? Remember I said you must write the I and the n times 12. Because if I divide the I by n, I cut it up. How many pieces are there in 1 year? So the n will stand for year. But if I multiply it by 12, I'm changing all of this now to months. I cannot start my problem if I haven't changed everything to months. So the n will be 12n. Good. And now you will just do it on your calculator. So you grab your, oh, I didn't fit in the 12. Let's just do there. It's 0.12. Let's just do it there. The I, because it's 12%. Good. So I'm going to write 1 plus 0.12 over 12 to the power of 12n. Just before I carry on, this is now very easy to divide. 12 go into 12 once. But again, I know what's going to happen. You're probably going to say 0.1, which is not true. It's 0.01. So I prefer that you rather just leave it like that. If you have a very big, long problem to do and you're going to use the I a lot of times, then you do it on your calculator and you make sure it gives you the answer 0.01. But let's just leave it as it is here. So you make your bracket, where's my 1? 1 plus fraction 0.12. Go down with your cursor over 12. Go to the right-hand side with your cursor, bracket, oops, I bracket. Oh, I forgot something. Remember, you can only have one unknown in an equation. This is going to happen to you as well. Now I've got two unknowns. Let's just quickly go back to the n. My n and my interest rate is now unknown. I need to find my n somehow. If they work out effective rate, and I'm going to go back now and make a big fat note of that. If they talk about effective rate, you always work it out only for 1 year. So that will be 1 times 12, which equals 12. So that will just be, let's not do it too long, so let's just take off that little n there. Because my n is now also months, but it's always for 1 year, so it's 12 months. So now I'm still busy slotting this in. I have my bracket. Now I press to the power of 12, and I press the equal sign, and I get 1.12. Now remember what we're working out, interest rate. Can an interest rate be 100 and something %? No. You see, this is going to happen when you do maths. You're going to always check if your answer is a possible answer. So now this doesn't look right to me because it's 1 comma something. So let's just check. Did I do everything right in this formula? There's my original formula. That is right. What happened to that one there? By accident, I just left it out. It's going to happen to you as well. So what do I do with that one if I want the IEFF all alone? I take it to the right-hand side. Minus 1, minus 1. So if I now get to this and I do that minus 1, it gives me 0 comma. That is what I want, because interest rate is always decimals after the comma. It's never something in front of the comma because it can't be 100 and something %. So that is why if I write it down now, and it gives me 0.1268 ... that means the interest rate is 12.7%. The effective interest rate. Now let's just see if this makes sense. Remember what I said? Interest rate is 12% per annum, once a year calculated. But now they said we must compound it monthly. So I cut it up into 12 pieces, and every month I put extra interest on the previous interest, extra interest on the previous interest. So can you see it's now more? Effectively, for a whole year, you're going to actually pay 12.7% interest. Now, this is very useful if you go and take out a loan one day, because one bank may charge you monthly, another bank may charge you interest quarterly or half yearly, and you need to be able to work out which one is going to give you the lowest interest rate if you take out a loan, or the highest interest rate if you make an investment. So that's very good if you can do this all on your own and make sure you can go to the best bank in the end. So make sure you see how easily it happens. That one there, I had to take off to the other side, which we forgot. And when I did it, I saw that now the answer makes sense. So you're going to redo this on your own on a clean sheet of paper. There's the whole answer that you can check afterwards. Good. Example 2. Convert an annual effective rate of 13.5% per annum to a nominal rate per annum compounded semi-annually. So now they give you the effective rate. So this is the IEFF. And they want you to change it to a nominal compounded semi-annually. Now, what did I say in the beginning? In all formulae, we use the normal nominal rate. So this is the one that you're most probably going to get in an exam, if you do get one. They're going to give you an effective interest rate. If you don't read carefully, you're going to use that rate and your whole sum will be wrong. So make very sure before you ever start slotting in any I into a formula, any formula, that it's the nominal rate. So I need my formula, 1 plus I EFF is equal to 1 plus I nominal to the power of n. But before I do, I need to go and check. The effective rate is 13.5, so I'm just going to do there. It's 0.135. Remember, we prefer decimals. To a nominal rate compounded semi-annually. Semi-annually means cut your year into 2 pieces. So I must also cut my I into 2 pieces. But if I do that, immediately the I and the N goes together. N, remember what we said? if we change from effective to normal or normal to effective, you always do it for 1 year because the bank always charges you per annum. That means per 1 year. So it's 1 year, but now I need to multiply it by 2, which gives me 2 because it's semi-annually. Good. Let's fill in what we have. 1 plus I. Oh, I can fill that in. I don't have to write it again. So let's just fill it in. 0.135 is equal to 1 plus. I do not have this one, but I know it's over 2. And I have that one there. Good. Now I must get the I all alone. The I is inside a bracket. The furthest thing away, I must take away first, which is the square. How does one take away a square? You square root. So I'm going to go to the left-hand side as well, and I'm just going to add those two because they're very easy to add. And I'll be left with 1 plus I over 2. You all agree? To get rid of a square, you square root. Now I need to get rid of the 1. So I minus 1. Make very sure that you write the minus 1 far apart from the square root. And now I need to get rid of the 2. So the whole left-hand side, as you did on the right-hand side, needs to be multiplied by 2. You grab your calculator. You say 2 bracket, just as you read it there, square root 1.135. Make sure you go out of the square root by pressing the cursor on the right-hand side. Only now you can do the minus 1. Check your calculator. If that minus 1 is under the root, you made a mistake. Then you close your bracket. If you do not close your bracket, your calculator is going to say error. So if ever your calculator says error, it happened to me a lot of times when I prepared, it's just because I forgot to put the bracket at the end, because you're in a hurry and you want to get the answer and you forget the final bracket, and then it's going to say error. Go check, because everything is on your display. Make sure it looks exactly like the one that you've got on your paper, and then you press the equal sign, and it gives you a very funny answer, but then you press the SD, and it gives you I is equal to 0.1307 ... Therefore, the interest rate is 13.1%. Now, can you see the nominal rate is now less than the effective rate? Because remember, effectively, if they work it out twice a year, you're going to pay more interest if it's a loan, or you're going to get more interest if it's an investment. Does it make sense? Think about it carefully, because if it makes sense, you don't just have to remember formulae. You remember why they are there and what they mean. So you're going to do this all on your own. Now you will see with this lesson, there's not 4 unknowns, because we're not doing the formula A is equal to B. We're going to do it later where we're going to use this. This is just to practice the basic, how to change from effective to nominal or from nominal to effective. So there will your answer be. You can just check that. Good. The last example. Now this is a proper example. 24,000 Rand is invested. Do you agree with me now? I invested now, so that could be my P. For 12 years, that is my N. At 14%, that is my I. Compounded quarterly. I think you should always either highlight or draw a circle around daily, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, because that makes a very big difference in your problem. How much do you have after 12 years? So we already have the N is 12. Now let's just make very sure. Did they say anything about nominal or normal or effective? Let's read again. 24,000 Rand is invested for 12 years at 14% per annum compounded quarterly. How much do you have after 12 years? No word of effective or nominal or normal. So if you don't read the word effective, you will never bother with that formula that this lesson is about. You will just carry on and you'll just do your normal investing. There's my investment formula. Before I start, I need to write the I and the N. You do not start if you haven't written the I and the N. The interest is 0.14 compounded quarterly. How many quarters in a year? 4. So they did cut up the year into 4 pieces. So what must you do with the N? 1 year consists of 4 quarters, so it's times 4. Which gives me 48. So I can just do all the calculations. I can just do the substitutions, And the calculations, can you see there's no bracket around the 24,000? Because I don't need it because it stands all on its own. And now I just take my calculator. As it is there, 24,000 bracket, 1 plus fraction. On top of the fraction, 0.14. At the bottom of the fraction, 4. Go to the right-hand side. Make very sure of that. Close your bracket. To the power of 48 equals. Good. 1, 2, 5, 1. Let's just see if it makes sense. You started off with 24,000 Rand. You are investing. You want more money at the end. You've got 125,000 Rand. That's a lot of money because 12% is a very high interest rate, which I hardly ever think you'll get anywhere at a bank. But good luck. Maybe one day. So that is why you need to be able to work these things on your own so that you know what is going to happen in 12 years' time. Maybe you want to buy something then and you want to save up money for that and you can work it out yourself. Good, you're going to try and do it all on your own and then you'll see the answers are there. You can just check the answer. There's the timeline. There's the whole amount. And remember when you do it, you don't look at all at this. I just want to show you the check here. You are not going to do the check unless you've got lots of spare time at the end of an exam or test and you can just go sit and fiddle. Then you can check. Here they changed it to effective interest rate. So they used the normal formula there for effective. You see it's quarterly. So it's 1 times 4 because remember if you use this formula it's always only for 1 year. I'll go back and make that note. And then you get the interest rate of 14.7523%. So if you now take that interest rate here, instead of dividing by something or whatever, you will get exactly the same answer. There's just a comma something difference because we are rounding off at places. So if you use a different method, you'll see further as well in different lessons. Sometimes the cents are just a little bit off, but when we mark the exam papers at the end of grade 12, we allow all of those different calculations. So there's just a check for you to do. As I say, you don't have to do it, but it's just to show what is this effective interest rate. Effectively, they are charging you that amount, that interest rate, 14.75%, to get to the same answer. Good. And then, as usual, you've got a page with exercises on. Please go do them. Make sure you get to the yellow answers, and then you should be fine with this. Good luck.